I'm with you, and I'm in a communal space. I'm in many communal spaces, and I'm thinking about the many people who experience lots of things. People experience it where they're seeing something and it's almost like they witness it, but maybe don't always associate themselves as part of the experience. While we're in workplaces and while many organizations desire to do deeper level of DEI work, there is that communal aspect that's very important. And if there is the shared accountability, if there is shared experience, I really appreciate this idea that if something's happening here, then it's happening here. We're all here. And while person A might have impacted or is saying something to person B, what usually happens in those places is if it gets addressed, it's offline with those people. And then the other people go and talk to the other people. And everyone experiences it outside of in all their places, but it doesn't get discussed in the place that it happened where everybody was. And I think that people can see themselves in an example like this. How many times have you gone into a meeting or a session or whatever it was? You have a lot of thoughts, feelings, and you see the stuff going on, and then you leave and you talk about it. You talk about the impact, you talk about your thoughts, but you don't share it in that space. So nothing really changes about that space.
Exactly.
But you did get to say stuff outside of.
Well, but I think that's really important is that, and there's a microaggression, somebody says something, there's a microaggression, and let's say somebody says, oh, well, you know what, we should get together and powwow about that. And Kim's in the meeting, and it's like, is somebody else going to say it? No, nobody's. Okay, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to call this out. And then afterwards, how many people are just like, oh, I'm glad you said something, Kim, because I heard that and I felt some way. And it's like, why? I'm the one that was impacted as a Native person. I experienced that as a microaggression. You walk around talking about how you're an ally. Why didn't you be an ally in that moment? That is an impact to allies as well. Folks have feelings about it. And what happens in those spaces when people don't just do the brave thing and the really uncomfortable thing and step up, all of those side conversations, they just fuel the separation. They fuel the toxicity. They reinforce the culture that you're trying to change. The other thing I want to say too about this, you and I had a conversation once and you said there was a particular thing that had happened. And I've been walking around going, I'm still affected by this. And nobody else seems to care about this. And you had said, well, because they didn't experience that as a we thing. That was a you thing. That wasn't a we thing. That's a shift that needs to happen, is to understand that in community, what happens to you happens to me. And our internal experience may be different, but that's what community is. And that's the relational aspect of the conversation, is that it may not appear to be impacting other people, but it really is. And some people might internalize it and be like, wow, that really sucked and I didn't like that. Oh, well, my voice isn't going to matter anyway. I'm just going to do my thing. Or people take it offline and now we have little factions, but nobody's actually dealing with the problem.